Good morning.
Yes.
Good morning.
I'm doing
Good
great.
morning.
Informal group discussion. In this discussion, there must be a facilitator or a leader to organize a meeting. To facilitate effectively, there are factors that come into play in an informal group discussion. Here are the cognitive factors. First, you must identify and articulate objectives.
Make sure that the purpose of the discussion is clear to all participants. And then organize your plan according discussion is rise, outcomes, apply specific facts, and prepare unique content and guidelines.
Second, create an inclusive environment.
Create an exclusive environment. Treat your groupmates with your respect and consideration. As a leader of the group, do not exclude others from understanding the content of the discussion or make them feel uncomfortable. Do not allow others to use disrespectful language. Most of all, be humble enough to admit your ignorance or confusion.
Third, plan by asking the right questions.
Plan by asking the right question. By asking the right question depending on your purpose, whether to stimulate, direct, analyze, or summarize, members can be eased into productive discussion that meets the goal.
Fourth, provide direction and maintain focus.
Provide direction and maintain focus discussion tend to be the most productive when all members of a group are focused. Summarize key issue as you go and you focus attention if the discussion seems to be getting off track.
And last, bring closure.
Bring closure. Synthesizing the discussion is a critical step for linking the discussion to the original objectives. Doing this allows everyone to see the progress done towards meeting the discussion goals.
Good morning, everyone. In this meeting, we will be discussing about the topic of strategies of group discussion. So let me briefly restate these main objectives. Any questions and clarifications? Is it clear and understandable? Social and emotional factors. First, know the strengths and weaknesses of your groupmates and assign rules according to what they can do their best. Develop a sense of fun in the group without losing sight of your purpose. Make sure everyone is engaged and is able to speak up, especially if you have a groupmate who likes to monopolize the discussion and one who hardly says anything. Be sensitive to group chemistry and what each member feels.
For physical factors, choose a place and seating arrangement where the discussion can take place without distraction if you can. Sit in a circle or at least have everyone see and hear each other. Make sure that the ventilation, noise level, and room temperature are all right, as this can prevent or distract you from holding a successful group interaction.
Participate in a healthy good discussion needs to have active role by taking the leadership task. Remember that you're on a team that plays an important role in the making the discussion in a fruitful one. As a group member, support the leader by actively participate and be respectful by listening when other is speaking.
In order an informal group discussion right to exist, there must be a discussion which is formal in nature. Here are the strategies and parliamentary procedure of formal group discussion.
Well, the virtual meeting of STI College Tagum hosts called to order of the Student New Legacy meeting December 8, 2020 at 8 a.m. Will the Secretary call the rule?
Mr. Cipro?
Present.
Mr. Zamora?
Present.
Mr. Dulaugo?
Present.
Being that there is a quorum, may we please have the reading of previous meetings minutes?
The regular weekly meeting of the STI College Tagum host a chapter was held on Wednesday, December 2nd, 2020 at 8 a.m. virtually. The President being on the chair and the Secretary being present, the minutes of the last meeting were read and approved as corrected. The Treasurer reported an amount of 5,000 pesos in donation raised from the fundraiser of Student New Legacy Club. Mr. Dulaugon, reporting on behalf of the Student Outreach Committee, reported that the conclusion of the fundraiser for the Student New Legacy was a success. The report was received and placed as filed. Mr. Cipro moved that the club donate the 5,000 pesos raised over the past 2 weeks to the Student New Legacy Club. Mr. Zamora seconded the motion and the motion passed by majority vote. The meeting adjourned at 11 a.m.
Thank you. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, the minutes are approved as read. The next item of business in order is the reports of officers, boards, and standing committees. May you please have the Treasurer's report?
Our balance on hand as of December 2nd, 2020 was 5,000 pesos. For the fundraiser of Student New Legacy Club, we raised 5,000 pesos, and for the merchandise sales, we rose another 2,500 pesos for a total income of 7,500 pesos. For this disbursement, we spent 1,700 pesos for Cities Club registration, leaving us with a balance on hand as of December 8, 2020 of 5,800 pesos.
Thank you. Are there any questions on the Treasurer's report? Hearing none, the report is filed as read. There was no unfinished business at the previous meeting. The meeting is now open for the new business.
Mrs. President,
Yes, Mr. De La Ugon.
I move that we hold an event on soliciting for the donations of printers and bond papers on December 12th in order to support our teachers and fellow students.
Is there any second motion?
I second the motion.
Is there clarification and objection?
Ms. President, I object to the consideration of the motion.
The question is on the consideration of the motion objected to how the question to be considered. Those in favor of considering the question say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed to considering the question say nay.
Nay.
This is more than 2/3 opposed and the objection is not sustained. The question is on the motion that we hold an event soliciting the donations of printers and bond papers on December 12th in order to support our teachers and fellow students. Is there any discussion?
I speak in favor of the
To
motion.
get order,
State your point of order.
on way was not recognized by the chair before obtaining the floor.
The point of order is well taken.
Mrs. President,
Yes, Mr. De La Ugon.
I speak in favor of the motion. I believe that gathering together to help collect donations for printers and bond papers will be more effective and quick on the process.
Thank you, Mr. De La Ugon.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Zamora.
I speak against the motion because the best to cost part of the group, also the motion. It does not specify whether it's online or in person. We should not host this event because it's for the benefits of our teachers and students and adhere to state the guideline.
Thank you.
Ms. President,
Yes, Mr.
I
Cipro.
move to amend the motion by inserting the word online before the word event.
Is there a second motion? It had been moved and seconded to amend the motion by inserting the word online before the word event. Is there any discussion?
Ms. President,
Yes, Mr. Cipro.
I speak in favor of this motion. With this online event, we will be able to collect monetary donations for printers and bond papers while still adhering to the state's guidelines.
Is there further discussion? Hearing none, the question is on the amendment of the main motion by inserting the word online before the word event. Those in favor of the amendment say aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it, and the motion to amend the main motion by inserting the word online before the word event is agreed to.
I raise a question of privilege affecting the entire assembly.
State your question.
Due to the loud noise, background noises from open door, I request the door to be closed.
Your point is well taken. With a member of assembly with an open door, please close the
I
door.
feel the decision of the chair.
I second the motion.
The decision of the President is appealed from the background noise from the open door, limiting the assembly's ability to hear the meeting proceedings. The question is, shall the decision of the President be appealed? Those in favor of closing the door say aye.
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 Those opposed say nay.
Nay.
The ayes have it, the motion carries and the door will be closed.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Zamora.
I'm moving to postpone the motion. Now we have an online event soliciting the donations of printers and bond papers on December 12th in order to
help our teachers and fellow students indefinitely.
Is there a second motion?
I second the motion.
It had been moved and seconded to postpone the motion indefinitely. Is there any discussion?
President,
Yes, Mr. Zamora.
I speak favoring him postponing the motion indefinitely because we don't have any sufficient resources or time to carry his motion in any moment.
Thank you, Mr. Zamora. Yes, Mr. De La Ugon.
I speak against postponing the motion definitely. Delaying the motion will prevent us from planning and running a successful event to support our school at the time when we are needed the most.
Thank you, Mr. De La Ugon. Is there any further discussion? The question is on the motion of postponing the main motion indefinitely. All those in favor of postponing the motion say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay.
Nay.
Nay. The nays have it, the motion is lost. The discussion returns to the main motion. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, the question is on the motion to hold and intend to hold an online event soliciting the donations of printers and bond papers on December 12th in order to support our teachers and fellow students. Those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. The ayes have it and the motion agreed to Mr. De La Ugon. Yes, Mr. De La Ugon.
I move that when this meeting adjourns, it adjourns to meet next Tuesday, December 16th at 8 a.m. virtually.
I second the motion.
It is moved and seconded that when this meeting adjourns, it adjourns to meet next Tuesday at 8 a.m. The question is on the motion to meet next Tuesday at 8 a.m. after this meeting adjourns. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. The ayes have it, and when this meeting adjourns, it will meet next week at 8
Mr.
a.m.
President,
Yes, Mr. Cipro.
I move to adjourn the meeting at 9 a.m.
It has been moved and seconded that the meeting adjourns at 9 a.m. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay.
Aye.
The ayes have it, the motion carries. The meeting has been adjourned.